Hi, my name is Stefan Solares, and I'm currently a freshman here at the University of Dayton. In my presentation, a few of the concepts that I'm going to be covering are transition to college, time management, having a growth mindset, and sleep. When I first got to the University of Dayton, I came a week early through the MEC First program. It was a little weird at first since it was only the program students and athletes on campus. Once my roommate arrived, it became a lot more comfortable, and I became more comfortable with my surroundings and meeting new people. For me, college is way different than my experience in high school. I went to a Catholic private high school where the grade scale and workload were just way too much. After a few weeks here, I realized that the workload was completely different and a little bit more comfortable for myself. I still had assignments and tests to study for, but it was much more manageable compared to high school. I would say that in terms of academics, I liked my transition. On the other hand, I was also in a way different environment compared to back home. It took some work at first, but after a little bit of time, I felt like Dayton was almost like a second home. I'm still very excited to visit back home though. One of the things that I did struggle with though was my time management. I had way much more time on my hands than I ever expected. My Monday, Wednesday, and Friday class ends at 1, so I have the entire afternoon to myself. I was so used to going to school from 8 to 3, so this change was a little weird for me. I found out soon enough that I needed to schedule out what I should do in this time. If I finished my work early, I had the entire rest of the day to relax, hang out with friends, and study. Time management for me is important because I get bored very easily. I always have to be doing something, so it was good for me to do something during the day. The more that we're able to manage our time, the more opportunities we have to enjoy other things. Time management has helped me in multiple ways, but mostly it has made me happier and a more organized person. One thing that I've been doing in my free time is also working on my growth mindset. I found it interesting when we discussed it in class. I think that I've been working on it pretty well. Growth mindset is important for a student because it can help us face different challenges that we face during the school year. We can use a growth mindset to bounce back from adversity and become stronger. It can help us persist in the face of setbacks and lead ourselves to success. I think that I've been working harder after facing difficulties, and instead of thinking about them and how annoying my challenges were, I started to think about how I can learn from them. One of my biggest challenges by far is sleep. I've always been a owl, and I usually wake up pretty late. After Parents' Weekend, I got pretty sick with something, I don't know. But I was sleeping way too late. I was missing class in the morning because I was going to bed way too late at night and just not getting enough sleep. Soon enough, I found myself falling behind in my classes because of me missing class. I was also taking long naps in the afternoon, which made it harder to fall asleep at night. I eventually realized that I had to stop the cycle that I was in and lock in to do better. I think that keeping a solid and strict sleep schedule can be beneficial to a student. There's also such a thing as too much sleep. Once you find out how much sleep is healthy for you, I think that it can be helpful. One of the questions asked that I'm going to be answering is how I viewed obstacles that I faced this semester. I think that I've been able to get through the obstacles with a mentality that stuff has to get done. If I get a bad grade, I have to come back and get another good grade to bounce back. I think that it's important to face our obstacles and look at it as something to learn from. One of the other questions is what subject makes me resilient? I'll definitely say religion. Even though it's a class that I've done a bunch of times before, I've also realized myself struggling with terms, dates, and people. It's affected my grade, but I've also realized how much attention I should show towards the class, and that's how I've bounced back in it. I thought that I would breeze through at first, but I realized that I have to put in much more work. One of the last questions is how I've grown myself in a more positive view of myself and my abilities. I think that I've realized how I can truly push myself. I think if I put 100% effort into something, it can be done well. I've come to realize this semester how I can grow as a student and a person, and I've also come to realize who I am and how I can become better, and I appreciate that. Thank you.